Let us dispense with the fairy tales immediately. You have been told that the truth sets you free. You have been taught that if your facts are correct, if your logic is sound, and if your heart is pure, you will win the argument. That is a lie. In the real world, in the boardroom, in the courtroom, and in the intricate power dynamics of interpersonal relationships, the truth does not win. The winner wins. History is not written by the men who were right. It is written by the men who were left standing. Welcome to the dojo of dark dialectics. Today, we are not discussing how to find the truth. We are discussing Eristic Dialectic, a term coined by the German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer. It is the art of being right, even when you are objectively wrong. Have you ever walked away from a negotiation or an argument feeling humiliated, only to think of the perfect comeback 3 hours later? Have you ever watched a less intelligent person dominate a room simply because they knew how to wield their words like a bludgeon? That ends today. By the end of this briefing, you will possess 4 lethal cognitive weapons. You will learn to shatter your opponent's reality, drown their logic, and dismantle their ego. This is not a debate class. This is verbal warfare. Before we touch the weapons, you must understand the battlefield. The battlefield is not logic. The battlefield is the frame. Whoever controls the frame controls the reality of the interaction. If you are explaining yourself, you are losing. If you are reacting, you are losing. The alpha position is never defensive. It is always defining the parameters of the conversation. Schopenhauer knew that human vanity is stronger than human intellect. If you can bruise the vanity or confuse the intellect, the facts cease to matter. Here are the 4 techniques to ensure you never lose again. The first technique is the false premise trap. This is the art of preloading a lie into the foundation of the conversation so that your opponent accepts it without realizing it. Most amateurs argue about the conclusion. Professionals manipulate the premise. If you wait for your opponent to state their case, you have already ceded ground. You must strike first by forcing them to accept a truth that benefits you. Consider the classic, albeit crude, example. When did you stop beating your wife? If the man answers, "I never did," he sounds defensive. If he gives a date, he admits guilt. The premise, that he beats his wife, is baked into the question. In a sophisticated negotiation, it looks like this. You are in a salary negotiation. Instead of asking, "Can I have a raise?" which allows for a no, you say, "Since we both agree that my performance has outperformed the department average by 20%, what is the adjustment strategy for this quarter?" Do you see the trap? You have bundled a debatable claim that you outperformed by 20% into a procedural question about strategy. If they answer the question about strategy, they have implicitly accepted the premise of your performance. Schopenhauer called this petitio principii, begging the question. You postulate what you want to prove. Use double binds. Give them 2 choices, both of which serve you. Do you want to sign the contract now, or after we review the final clause? The option to not sign is removed from the table. You are not asking for permission. You are directing traffic. If you can get your opponent to agree to a false or slanted premise at the start, their logic doesn't matter. They are building a house on land that you own. Sometimes quality is irrelevant. Sometimes victory belongs to volume. Enter Technique 2, the Gish Gallop. Named after the creationist debater Gish, this technique is designed to overload your opponent's cognitive processor. The human brain has a limited bandwidth for refutation. It takes 10 times more energy to refute a lie than it takes to tell one. The Gish Gallop exploits this asymmetry. The strategy is simple. You drown your opponent in a torrent of arguments, half-truths, straw men, and irrelevant facts. You speak quickly, confidently, and relentlessly. You fire 10 weak arguments in the span of 60 seconds. Your opponent, trying to be logical and honest, will try to address them one by one. But they can't. It is impossible. If they manage to refute argument number 1 and 2, you simply interrupt. You're fixating on minor details and ignoring the remaining 8 points. Why are you avoiding the big picture? You declare victory based on the points they didn't have time to answer. This is effective because it creates the optical illusion of Ad hominem and mirroring. Schopenhauer posits that if you perceive you are being beaten, you must create a diversion. You must make the argument personal. Stated their capacity to argue. You have framed their passion. Please, stop interrupting me and let me finish. If you are being aggressive, say, "Why are you being so hostile?" This triggers a confusion response. In this method, you conceal your claws. You play the role of the humble student. You feign ignorance. You ask questions. Schopenhauer guide them step by step to the edge of the cliff. If someone claims, never have to be aggressive. You are just asking questions. The Socratic trap are not honorable. They are effective. We live in a world where the optics of competence often outweigh competence itself. Schopenhauer wrote, "For it is a very natural characteristic of human nature to become arrogant upon the slightest feeling of superiority." The only rule is, do not miss. This is Project Apex Logic. Class dismissed.